All right. What's up, Doomers? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Smiling Rainbow Unicorn of Doom. I'm your host, Thomas Histon, and we are coming at you live from the Friend Zone. Oh, it's been a while since I've said that.
That's like a world record for 2 unfunny jokes in the first 10 seconds. You're going
all right, we're gonna take a little bit of a break here. We're gonna.
There you go.
What's up, guys? It's been a little bit. It's been a while since I've been in the studio, which is really awesome. It's been since March 12th, I believe. So it's been. Yeah. I've been single just as long. So just a little bit of background for the show.
You are a doomer, aren't you?
Just a little bit of background for the show. My name's Thomas.
My name is Joe.
My name is Marquez.
And we're typically the people who are on the show. Sometimes we have different people. Sometimes some of us don't show up. Sometimes we get mad at each other and we just sleep on opposite sides of the bed. I mean, it's just subject to change. But just basically what this show is about. We don't really have a set topic every week. We just sort of talk and we just try to have as much fun as we possibly can. Are you guys having fun?
Do you mean us or the listeners?
Who can respond to me right now, Joe?
I can email you.
Hey, Thomas, at 2:05, I was having a lot of fun. Thanks for asking. Are you guys having fun?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Now I'm not.
I was having fun. Okay, so I went on Instagram, and SRUDXLR on Instagram, and I asked you guys some questions, and boy, did you deliver. Some of y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. So we're going to start off with a softball. Okay, are y'all ready?
Yeah.
This will also get a little background information on who we are. How did you all meet? So I remember vividly how I met both of you. Do you remember when the first time you met me?
Did you meet both of us at the same event?
No.
Okay, I was going to say, because that would be very confusing.
Well, I can go into my account. And
yeah, you go.
So I met Marquez first. I met Marquez at freshman orientation. We were talking to this guy who I'm almost positive doesn't go here anymore.
No, he doesn't.
His name was Johnny. I don't even think he came to school. He just went to freshman orientation, never showed up. We were just talking. I don't remember what we said, but you said something funny, and I remember I complimented your hoodie because you had the Black Panther hoodie on.
Yeah.
And that's how I met Marquez. We didn't know that we were going to be roommates at that time, but then we ended up being roommates freshman year. So that sort of worked out in that weird way. Joe, I have a much more interesting story. We are in Media 101, which I just took for fun. I'm not a mass comm major, but I just took for fun because I needed an extra credit. I thought it might be interesting. Anyways. And we sat at the same table. And I remember the first time I remember thinking about you in any sort of way was I was
congested, right?
Yes, we were taking a test, and all I hear while I'm taking this test is and like this slurping noise, and because you had a Coke, and you were like drinking really loudly.
Man.
But yeah, that's all I remember from that's how I met you guys. And then I think our mutual friend, we won't say his name, but our mutual friend, I don't know when the first time you came to our dorm was. I guess he just invited you over.
The first time I met both of you, because I guess we were in that class, but honestly I didn't know or talk to you at all in that class. Mm-hmm. The first time I met both of you was at the same time, which is when that person, they're all roommates, and he basically just invited me to go get sushi with all of them. So I met him,
right.
and then their other roommate,
and the other roommate who does not go here anymore, but
he who shall not be named.
He was on the. I mean, we can name it. It was John. He was on the show last semester. So.
Oh yeah, for a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was on the show once. That was an interesting one.
Okay.
Marquez, do you remember anything different of how you met us, or your first impressions of us?
Yeah, give me a different story on how you met each of us.
Make something up.
Yeah. I just want you to lie to my face.
Lie to the Doomers.
But I can't lie. My mama always told me lying is bad.
I wish I didn't meet you.
All right, so you don't have another. Okay.
No. Yeah, you can't. There was a joke.
Well, I don't know if he
had a different story.
If he had a different perspective, or I remember I didn't like you at first, anything like that.
No, I thought both of you were cool.
Liar. So here's a question that'll is a little warming up to the theme of what a lot of these questions.
Unpleasant.
Yes, that is the theme. Is unpleasant. You're at a Walmart, one of the big Walmarts that has just everything.
Mm-hmm.
You have to choose 3 things to freak the cashier out. What are you gonna pick? I already have mine, so if you want me to go and you guys think of yours. Okay, so it's not necessarily to me. It's not about what you have, what you have bought. It is about what you do with the items in front of the cashier. So I would buy a children's sized t-shirt. And I'm a big guy, so that would be questionable on me. A plushie, like a teddy bear, and a towel. So I would take my shirt off. I would put the children's shirt on to the best of my ability. I would start just making out with this stuffed animal, and then just be like, "Hey, I want to buy this towel?"
Just have the last one as like a neutral freak out point.
It's just like, "Hey, can I buy this towel? These are mine now. I just want to buy the towel."
I don't know if this would count, but what I would do is I would buy a big box of goldfish, a big bag of like M&Ms, and then like a big bag of Skittles,
Okay.
right? And I would open all of these,
right,
and put them on the conveyor belt, like individually, like the individual M&Ms, and then ask, "Hey, can I buy this for each individual one?"
Just try to scan each one. Okay. That would just more annoy them and make them want to quit.
I'm okay with it.
What's the first things that come to your head?
Milk.
Milk? Okay.
Butter.
Butter? All right. You're just making a cake at this point.
Groceries. That's
But
terrifying.
eggs, icing.
And sausage.
So you're just my
Still-
grocery
still
order.
groceries, yeah.
Yes,
It's
but
my grocery order.
it's what I
But
do with it that is.
I don't want to know what you're going to do with sausage, eggs, and or sausage, butter, and milk.
You sure? I mean,
Please, can you say it on air? Like, is this going to get us in trouble?
maybe I shouldn't say that.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Next question. This is specifically asked, if I had a kidney problem, would you guys give me your kidney?
Yeah.
Suffer.
All right.
No,
Glad
I'll
to know where I stand.
No,
Wait,
no,
so
I'll
what
give
if
you one.
You would both. So I have 3 kidneys now.
Unlimited power.
I just start like, hey, I need to just all my friends, so I just have a ton of kidneys.
You can just drink like 20 bottles at once of like whatever beer you want. Just keep packing it in.
Oh, I thought you were going to say drink 20 kidneys at once. What does that even mean?
You just put them in a blender.
Okay. Gross. God.
I didn't say anything wrong.
I know. I was talking to him.
Oh, they said guys. Okay.
No. So we have one question, and then we'll go on a little bit of a music break. But do you have a crush on anyone? Asks this person. And considering I am the only single person
I
here,
actually do. I do have a crush
Uh-oh.
on my girlfriend for 2.5 years.
That's the lamest answer you could have given.
I also
want
have a
you
crush
to-
on several women on
Yes,
campus.
I want you to cheat on your girlfriend on air right now. Wait.
Bring him in.
Well, Joe, we actually got Veronica here today.
I'm glad that the silent sound of me gesturing towards the door to bring the cheating women in was unnoticed by the microphone with no camera.
It definitely, I heard it.
That's intimidating.
I heard it. Everything. Well, here's the funny part: is I wanted to put on this point. This mutual friend, who's our roommate, he, I just think it's funny. It's sort of this joke now that I'm single, and he's gay, and I'm straight, and he gets more women than I do. I think since this semester started, like 3 different girls have asked him out or asked for his phone number. Like, what the heck is up with that? I'm just sitting there like, man, I'm single. That's cool. And then my gay friend's getting all the women. Is it me? What is it about me, Joe? The only reason I'm asking you is because I can see you. I can't see Marcus.
Good.
That's fair. No, it's not you.
What is it?
I think maybe it's just because he's very extroverted, very like outwards with himself. So maybe people feel more comfortable like asking him out. I don't know. Although to be fair, I've also never been asked out by a woman before.
Well, there's multiple reasons for that.
I am being supportive of you, and you are breaking me down on air.
Exactly.
I'm not going to give you my kidney anymore.
We're gonna go on a little bit of a music break, but when we get back, we have probably a question that will get us in a lot of trouble. So let's do this thing. I'll see you guys in a second. All right. Thank you for listening to XLR Lander University Radio. I have my mask on. I'm going to take it off.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you were doing that intentionally.
No, I forgot that I had it on. Okay. All right. Welcome back to the Smiling Rainbow Unicorn of Doom. We were just answering some questions, and here's the one that's going to get us in trouble. Okay. So, I've been hyping this up.
Really? Mm-hmm.
Between the three of us, if we were to create here's the question that I was like, oh my God, these people are messed up. If we were to create a human centipede between the three of us, who would be the top, who would be the midsection, and who would be the bottom? And I have a very well thought out answer to this.
Well, I implore you to provide your answer because I definitely did not have one.
I don't either.
So I figure I'm the most attractive one here, so I should be the top, right? Because you get to see my face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Joe will be the bottom.
That's
because
fair,
he has the nicest butt.
Yes, yes.
And Marquez will be in the middle because he's like the healthiest, goes to the gym the most out of all of us.
Okay. I will not refute that answer.
I don't have a better answer.
So that's the answer we're going with?
I'm trying to think.
You understand the implications of you being...
the problem is I have to think about it and not mention any details of what being in a human centipede is.
Right. Exactly.
Which is why I don't think I'm going to be able to expand on this question any more than you do.
We'll just by the way. Okay, we'll just go to the next question. I want you to... Here's a horrifying segue. The question is, do you like spicy food?
Not in tandem with the last question.
I have a story with this one, too. Okay. Yes, I really like spicy food. But it gets to a certain point where I have let's be honest, I have a white person's palate, in a sense. I have a European palate, or an American palate. So I don't love super spicy food to where I'm like coughing, I'm sneezing, whatever, I'm dripping, like drooling or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not dripping. So I was on a date, and I went to this Thai restaurant. And I was trying to, be a good date, like be cool. And this guy walks up, and I'm assuming he's from Thailand, or at least from Southeastern Asia. And I'm not going to insult him or the Southeastern Asian people by trying to replicate his accent, but he walks up to me. I order this dish, and he says, all right, scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the spiciest, how spicy do you want it? And I believe my exact words were, 5, how bad could that be? So I get the food, and I immediately realize, 5 is a little more than I can handle. So I started choking. Or I started, coughing.
Yeah, there's a distinct difference.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I started I'm coughing. It's getting up in my sinuses. My eyes are watering. Not horrible. That is not pleasant. And he walks up to me with this look on his face, like, "Oh yeah, white boy, I got you." And he says, "Is that spicy enough for you, sir?"
Destroyed.
And I got completely destroyed by this dude. And that's why the relationship failed. No, but yeah, that's my story with spice. Now I respect Asian cuisine and its spice and how bad that can be.
I would be very curious to have what that would be a 10 at some point, and just for the sake of knowing.
Go to Fusion and get Thai spicy or whatever it was called.
Sure. Well, I'm not sure if that would even be quite as bad, but
maybe not.
I also quite like spice. I like hot sauce a lot. I like a lot of Asian spices and stuff like that. I usually order food relatively spicy. I think the 2 spiciest things I've had the Braveheart wings at Buffalo Wild Wings, which was at a friend's birthday party. I mean, it's the kind of thing where the spice doesn't really incorporate into the flavor at all. It's like, a wing, and then you eat it and you're like, well, that experience is over. It was pretty great horrible, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then the other time I had something really spicy, I don't remember exactly what kind of pepper it was. Carolina Reapers are supposed to be ridiculously spicy, so I don't think it was that.
Yeah.
But sophomore year we had a saxophone thing because I was in band at the time. It was a hazing thing, but because we didn't do one freshman year, The freshmen and sophomores did it sophomore year. So basically, one of the saxophones brought a bag full of peppers that they had purchased that was supposed to be super spicy. And I guess the batch of peppers wasn't particularly consistent because almost everyone had no reaction. Like, it just wasn't spicy to them at all.
Yeah.
Except for me and one other person who were getting destroyed. Like, crying, face red, like, streaming down. I had luckily purchased a glass of milk beforehand, which is, helpful for spicy stuff. The other saxophone who had experienced it was like begging me to let him have some. I was like, no, man, I need this so badly. It's fun. It's fun. It's like the same thing as like a thrill experience, but just with like actual pain in the minor sense.
We what did you want to? Because we went to Walmart one time and we were getting like chips because we got salsa, and it was just like Walmart brand chips that said spicy chips. So I was like, heck yeah. And on the back it says, warning, these are spicy. And I was like, oh, it's Walmart chips. How spicy can it be? Here's a note to future self. If you ever find yourself underestimating the power of any type of spice, don't. It always ends poorly for me. It always makes me look stupid. These Walmart chips were unbearably spicy.
I remember those. I definitely could eat them, but they were to the point where I wouldn't find them being ridiculously pleasant.
Yeah. And the only thing I had at the time was like Gatorade, which is super acidic, and that doesn't help with the spice. So that was unpleasant. That was when I think we were playing BioShock, so I just heard these like horror screaming noises and gunshots, and I'm just sitting there like crying.
It was emotional for you.
Yeah.
Again.
Yes.
Do you have a spicy story, Marquez?
No, I don't, because I don't really eat spicy food all that much, although I would like to.
Huh.
I would like to hit my spice ceiling and just suffer.
I can do that.
We got you. We have chili powder at home. Just
Well,
don't
You want me to
do
just
what I
drink
just
the whole
take
thing?
the cinnamon challenge.
I've done that,
with chili powder.
and that's burned my tongue.
Yeah. Well, cinnamon. Did you ever do the cinnamon challenge?
No.
Yeah, it hurts.
Man, I
Did you take the cinnamon challenge?
left it on my tongue
Next
for like
question. So
10 minutes.
How can I join XLR? You can't because we don't like you and we're not hiring. No.
Have a friend that has a show so you get to participate, but not have to do any
Exactly.
of the annoying parts.
I was gonna say I'm the one who does all the paperwork, all the
Yes.
planning, I'm the funny one, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, piggyback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pick it
That's
back
the
off.
No, exactly. Just okay. Basically, very basic. I don't know if there are any open spots anymore. I don't know that. I don't know if we're accepting anymore. But say, just for general, what I did the first semester I was here as a freshman, I went to the interest meeting, which is already passed, but I went to the interest meeting. They told me exactly what to do. I emailed who was the head of the station at the time, and I said, here's my idea. Here's what music I would play. Here's what I would talk about. Here's who the people I would have on, which at the time was nobody. Here's the show name. And they got back, and here are the times that I would be able to do it. I did like 3 available times. And that's how I did it. And they said, all right, here you go. It's quite easy to get on the show if you have my idea was horrible last year, but I still got on the show. So if you're driven and if you dedicate an hour out of your week to just have fun and do things within this certain parameter of rules, you can probably get a show quite easily. I don't even think you have to. I'm not particularly good at public speaking, but it's definitely helped me improve that. So if anything, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to get out of it, that's a way to do it. What is some form of media, a song, a book, a movie, or a TV show that has been incredibly influential to you?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Very great.
Okay. Well, I will not make my answer Avatar because I have a strange feeling that would be repetitive.
Right.
So
That wasn't my answer, but it's
Really?
no. Well, of everything, no, that's not what I
okay,
was going to say.
Okay. Well, you can if you have an idea, you can go first. I'll need a minute.
I would say Avatar for just it. It's
You literally.
I'm not going to explain why though. I'm not going to explain why it's Avatar. Game of Thrones, just because it got me into the fantasy genre. As the TV show, I didn't start reading the books until a few years ago. Before I started watching Game of Thrones as a middle schooler, which is questionable. But it was my mother too, which was funny. It was awkward, but so definitely Game of Thrones. And The Catcher in the Rye. I'm reading it for the second time now, and I forgot how great it is and how much I loved it. And I'm not even that big of a reader. I'm not good at reading. I'm very slow at reading. I'll have to read things several times to actually fully understand it. But for whatever reason, the words in this book make sense to me and resonate with me, I suppose. I would check it out for yourself if that's something you're interested in. Marquez?
Were you hoping I was going to go second?
Yeah, I really was.
Okay.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Don't leave them like that.
No.
Because it's like...
I can try if you need me.
And we do have a few more questions. I'm not trying to rush you, but...
Sure. Okay, yep, Mr. Turd. Do you have an answer now?
I mean, there's not one specific type of media that's like had a big influence on me. Like, they've all collectively influenced me. So, like, there's my answer, I guess. I don't know.
Which musicians or music? Anything in particular?
I listen to everything besides country. Nobody likes country. It
don't
should
mind
just be
country.
removed. Should be removed
I don't
from
mind.
the radio stations.
Well, a lot of people will say I like all music but country.
Doors
So.
and turn them lights.
Hey, that's
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, I did it a lot with Vic. She likes to do that. It's my.
Okay,
Anyways.
what is your...
Like in a weird way, it's a joke. Anyways, as silly of an answer as it may seem, I feel like a lot of my humor is very reminiscent of like the early SpongeBob. Because honestly, like as silly as it can be, the first 3-4 seasons are really funny, like genuinely funny in a lot of ways. Obviously, Avatar a lot is probably my favorite work of fantasy right now, and I love fantasy. I'm trying to write my own fantasy thing that has a lot of similarities to Avatar. Those are probably my two things I could think of most easily. But
All right. Here's a mind bender, a mind twister, if you will. If an unstoppable object crashes into an immovable object, what would happen? Now I know what they're trying to get at here. They're trying to say, oh, it's because he's an unstoppable object, or it's an immovable object, so one's going to have to give, right? Wrong. There is no such thing as an immovable object. There's no such thing as an unstoppable object. So either the unstoppable object is going to hit the immovable object, and the immovable object is going to move, or the unstoppable object is going to hit the immovable object, and the unstoppable object is going to stop. There's no such thing as an unstoppable object or an immovable object. God is dead. The Easter Bunny isn't real. Next question.
that was the least fun answer you could have given.
yeah.
The answer,
Next question is...
No.
Next question is, how are you mentally? Did you hear what I just answered? That is your answer.
I have a better answer.
How do you?
Yes. Now, considering, for the sake of happiness, that there is an immovable object and an unstoppable force, it is not clarified in this description how these objects are unstoppable or immovable. If the unstoppable force collides with the immovable object, it is capable, perhaps, of bending around the object and moving unlimitedly past it, stretching itself out, still moving, but not going through the immovable object. Therefore, the object is not moving, and the unstoppable force has not stopped. Next question.
All right.
You don't get to answer.
All right, nerd.
The next question is, how are you mentally? Did you hear my answer to the last question?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. I mean, the sophomore year is refreshing. I mean, freshman year of college has a lot of things that come with it that are unpleasant. I mean, it's your first big dive into independence and adult life and all that, and it's very easy to get overly negative and overwhelmed with a lot of stuff. But sophomore year is nice. It's very liberating. I feel, classes are more like what I want to participate in. They're more like things that I want to progress in. I get to cook for myself. I get to have a place that feels more like my own. I get to hang out with my roommates a lot more often now, which is great because...
See, that's why I'm sad. Anyways,
I'm apparently the biggest cause of Thomas's mental instability.
You really are. Marquez, how are you doing?
I'd rather not think about it. I just live life. I just do as I please, and that's about it.
All right. Welcome back to Sad Boy Hours, Wednesdays at 3 o'clock.
So Thomas is depressed. Marquez is a heathen. And I'm pretty good.
Joe is just a bundle
And
of
we
joy.
are the smiling rainbow unicorn of doom. All right. This one I'm trying to understand this question.
Okay.
Is it I'm quoting verbatim. Is it one unicorn overlord of doom as a concept, or is doom the specific breed of unicorn? Or are the smiling and the rainbow adjectives, or are they the breed of unicorn?
Why did
Yes to every single point in that question.
So there's one unicorn.
Yes.
It not only is it smiling,
It is also a rainbow unicorn.
and it's a rainbow unicorn, and it's a unicorn of doom.
Yes. So those are all
And not
adjectives.
only is it all those adjectives, but it is that is the breed of unicorn.
No, that's not the breed. That's just what it is. A unicorn that happens to be smiling,
Yes.
happens to be a rainbow unicorn, and a propositioner of doom.
Okay. So
Or practitioner of
It's
doom.
not. It's not the breed. It's just
No.
adjectives.
Are there
that
different
apply.
breeds of unicorns?
Well, that was the question. That was what the question was asking. Like, is
Yeah.
the unicorn of doom the breed of unicorn, or is that just a unicorn of
No,
doom?
is an individual unicorn.
Okay.
That is me.
So I guess the first answer, it is one single unicorn overlord that is a smiling rainbow unicorn of doom.
Exactly.
All right.
All right. How? I forgot about this one. This is verbatim,
Verbit.
and for you, Joe.
Oh, was it asked towards me specifically, or are you directing it towards me?
It was asked for you.
I
How much money can I pay you? I'm assuming me, for a bite of ravioli that Joe has already taken a bite of. Well,
there is.
well, this individual, you can pay me about $150, and I will get you a piece of ravioli that Joe has taken a bite out of.
There is approximately one person who I would not be terrified if they were the person that asked this question.
Okay.
Anybody else, and I'm going to call the police. So I don't actually get to answer this question because it's how much would you need to be
But
paid.
okay, how much do you want? What cut of what I ask for do you want? Because I'm the one doing the bargaining here. You're just the one that took a bite out of a piece of ravioli.
Yeah, I suppose the price of the ravioli, considering I don't get to eat it.
You only want.
I'm being robbed.
I said that I would ask for about $150 for a Joe desecrated ravioli, and you're like, I'll just take
is all they're gonna do
$1.50.
eat it?
You're just gonna take a bite out of it, and I'll
No.
just take it and give it to them.
No, but what are they gonna do with it?
They're
Are they
gonna
just
eat it. Yes.
It doesn't matter.
They're
I'm
gonna
getting
eat it.
150
It
bucks.
matters immensely.
It really doesn't.
If they just eat it, I don't really care. That's just sharing food with a stranger.
Right. But what if they just like take your DNA and just like,
clone you?
yeah. Then the 150 seems pretty minuscule, doesn't
I
it?
suppose. So we should average it out. So if they're just eating the food, we'll say about $10. And
Okay.
if they're making a clone of me, we'll say about
Give me all your
$4
money.
million
Right.
minimum.
I want
So
all
we'll
your money.
average that out to about $20.
What if they just want to keep it?
Like put it in a jar?
Something like that, yeah.
You don't.
Asking for a friend.
You better be. Considering your immense mental prowess and economic bargaining skills, I will take 60%. No, 40%.
60%. Take it or leave it.
60% of whatever you get out of the deal.
Okay.
No questions asked.
All right.
Except for who's asking for the
Well, Mom, if you're watching, I made a bargain. No, okay. So, what is your opinion on band kids? And I'm the only one here who wasn't a band kid.
Well, I'm going to let Marquez answer because I'm still getting over the last question.
Marquez, what's your opinion on band kids?
Again, being a band kid myself, I was not the version of the band kid that is like portrayed in memes.
Okay.
I just didn't talk to
Ding, ding,
people.
ding, 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 ding.
Stop it, you heathen.
Okay.
But there are definitely people like that in band, for sure.
Okay.
That's
How
like,
did it feel to just get no girls?
That's where you're wrong.
All right, that was me. I forgot. I'm getting confused. Joe, what's your opinion on band kids? Because the reason I'm not answering this question because my school didn't have a band. So
Well, if the question they're asking is band kids, as in like the meme band kids.
no, what is your opinion on? Well, I guess the question is, what is your opinion on band kids?
Well, I know, that's what I'm saying. Is like a band kid is just a person that does band. Like it's
Right.
the same thing as like, oh, what's your opinion on like history majors? It's like it's a thing that you do. I think generally if it's like marching band and they're very into it, being with 100 or so, maybe 200 if you're like a really big school like I had, or 50 if it's a smaller one, being with people like that, doing constant physical labor, constantly being like in locker rooms, on buses, going to different places, you tend to breed a type of humor that's very much so niche, and it can be very obnoxious to people who aren't. But generally, it's very tight knit, and if you find the right people, you can get a really close community that you can very much so keep with for a very long period of time.
All right.
That wasn't how it was for me. Because as soon as I left, they all shunned me.
Ooh. Story time. No, we'll do that
No.
later. Okay, next question, which is similar. What's your opinion on theater kids? So I was technically a theater kid. I'm assuming I was the only theater kid in this room.
Not
Were you
necessarily.
in plays?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I didn't really do like theater class in school that much, but for quite a long time, my summers were taken up by like acting camps and stuff like that.
Really? Okay. I didn't know that.
I think the most notable one was, I think the last one that I did, where I was by a decent margin the oldest person there. There were several people who were young. I think this was, when was this? I feel like I was 13 or 14.
Okay.
And there were kids there that were like 8, 9. And there were some kids who were close to me, as like 11, 12. But I had a year or two on the second oldest person, and it was kind of awkward. But
Okay.
that
Yeah,
doesn't actually answer the question at all. I forgot what the question was.
What do you feel about them? About theater people as a race? I don't know. Not out of race. As a category. I took all the theater classes every single year of high school, except for I believe my senior year. I took theater classes. I was in every play that I had the opportunity to be in. But I never considered myself a theater kid because I didn't. That was all I did. In this, I only took the classes and I only was in the plays. I don't watch plays. I don't particularly enjoy watching plays. If I was given a role I did not enjoy, I probably would not have done it. If my school had done a Shakespeare production, I probably would not have auditioned because I just wanted to. I did what I enjoyed doing, which was I was in Alice in Wonderland, I was in Little Shop of Horrors, and I enjoyed it for what it was. But if they had chosen like a Shakespeare play, I probably would not have enjoyed doing that. So I had never really, and I definitely never felt, not accepted, but I never really felt like I belonged to this group of individuals. And that's, could be me, or that could be the fact that I didn't belong. I don't know. But yeah, opinion on theater kids. Do what makes you happy, and if you don't enjoy it, there's no shame in not continuing doing so. Next question. I don't know who asked this question. I forgot. Should I get dreadlocks? And if the answer is, if I ask this question, no, Thomas, you should not get dreadlocks. Even though I think I could totally rock dreads.
Dreadlocks. How am I supposed to answer this question without knowing what this person looks like?
Yeah, like I need to know
my
what
thing
you
is,
look like.
If you're sure, I don't know, go for it.
Because then the question that I'm being asked is, what is my opinion on dreadlocks on anyone?
Right.
Which is that if you like them and you think you won't look terrible, even if you look terrible, if you don't think you look terrible, then go for it.
Yeah.
It's your hair. I mean,
It'll grow back. I mean, it's not like unless you do something horrible to it. I don't know.
I think especially during quarantine time, most people's standards of attractiveness have dropped by a level or two. So, be
Then why am I
experimental.
still single, Joe?
You're at the bottom level. you need a few more quarantines to get through that one.
Ah, man. I figured me wearing a mask would help, but it really hasn't.
Just draw cheekbones on your mask.
Okay, last question. Would you rather, and we only have a few minutes left, so let's try to figure this one out and have a definitive answer in 5 minutes. Would you rather change genders every time you sneeze?
Yes.
Or not be able to tell the difference between a muffin and a baby?
Okay, rapid question. Change genders like
Every time you
bodily,
sneeze.
like you physically
Yes.
like chromosome shift.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't want to get into the scientific ramifications of that.
Yes,
but
of course.
Change the industry.
we don't have
Yeah,
that
still
much.
the first one, yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Because I'd rather not end up eating a baby.
Well, here's the thing. You can. I don't really plan on having kids anyways, but of course that could always change. But like, if you could figure out context, right? You go to Harris Teeter and you're like, all right, there's a bunch of babies on a shelf. You're probably going to be able to figure out.
More.
This is probably these are probably muffins. I mean, here's the thing. I would probably just expel muffins from my diet
Yeah, just stop eating
regardless.
them entirely.
Or live on the edge.
Or stop
live on
eating
the edge
babies
and
entirely.
possibly commit infanticide. But is that the right term? I don't know. But
You eat a muffin, you're like, this isn't a baby. What?
dang. Man, disappointment all around.
There's no crunch to it.
Okay, that's going to need to not. That I don't like that at all.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, basically, the question is: would you rather stop eating muffins entirely, or
I don't know if I can
have
give
a
them up.
completely abnormal life?
Look, I'm
which
just saying
has
the
no
risk.
consistency?
The risk outweighs the reward. Or wait, excuse me, the reward outweighs the risk.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I love muffins, and if I have to accidentally commit murder to eat one, I'm okay with that.
Actually, after processing the question more fully and applying highly unlikely situations to that, I'm going to switch my answer to the muffin one, but I will not provide excessive detail because it would be unpleasant.
Well,
You don't even know what I'm talking about.
I don't
No,
want to
no,
know.
Knucklehead.
But I just think the idea that you just don't want to say it.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know at all.
Yeah, I'll explain it afterwards. but-
So, do we have any final thoughts about? Actually, wait. I had another question. I completely forgot. We have a lot more time than I thought we did. And in that being 5 minutes. What are your thoughts on high school relationships? I completely forgot that question. And here's I don't know about you, Marquez.
Mm-hmm.
Joe and I had very long high school relationships. Mine ended. His is still going on. So we have two different ideas about that, right? So I would say, as someone who had a 2.5-year relationship that ended, I feel like there's an unnecessary stress that comes with high school relationships for some reason. I'm not trying to say anything about your relationship, Joe, but understand that the odds are very much against you and have as much fun as you possibly can. And if it becomes like this, you're a married couple just fighting all the time, I don't see any harm in being like, you know what, I can't handle this. I have too much time, or I don't have enough time to deal with this. There's no reason for this to continue. And I feel like it hurts. Breaking up with somebody sucks, but if that's what needs to happen for you to enjoy high school any more than you already would have, I feel like that's necessary. I just feel that way about high school in general. Having graduated, is like there's a lot of stress that associated with the social aspect. If you don't like your friend group, just move tables. Just sit. You know how I found my best friend group? I sat down at a table of people I didn't know and said, "What's up?" And can you imagine me doing that? I'm not very outgoing like that, but I just sat down. I was like, "What's up, guys?" And
I like that.
And that's how I got, like, I don't feel there's no reason to have all this stress associated with anything in high school. Just have as much fun as you can. Don't do anything illegal, don't do anything to hurt anybody or hurt yourself, but have as much fun as you possibly can. And I feel like that could transcend into relationships as well.
Yeah. I within my friend group, I've seen all sides of the coin. I think people who had a lot of relationships in high school and it probably impacted them negatively. People who had relationships in high school or tried to get relationships and it didn't impact them negatively. People who didn't have any relationships in high school at all. Because I know several people who intentionally avoided having any relationships in high school.
Okay. Good on them.
Yeah, and one of them basically went to college and very quickly found a relationship, which he's been very happy with for like half a year maybe. So he's doing great. I think it's very hard to tell high schoolers anything. So I don't.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, because you couldn't tell me anything in high school.
Yeah. No, I say all these things, and then you're gonna realize that I'm possibly right in retrospect. But
Sure.
I understand that if a high schooler's listening to this, they're gonna be like, "We love it," and I'm not discounting the love that you two have for each other.
yeah.
Just accept the fact that the odds are against you.
Yeah.
and just have fun with it.
Well, and but yeah, true, of course. But like in my case, my brother had a relationship that started, I think, his either sophomore or junior year, and they got married recently. Yeah. I would say if there are any high school listening to this or people who can talk to high schoolers, as much as it obviously will have an emotional bearing on you, high school is great for learning. If you want to date in high school, don't make it about commitment or super long. I mean, be committing, obviously, but don't make it about living the rest of your life with this person. Make it about learning. I got rejected and screwed up and caught in relationships that didn't work out, and it was my fault, it was their fault, so on, for a long time. And I learned a lot from that, and I'm happy I did that.
All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up, guys, but thank you so much for tuning in to the Smiling Rainbow Unicorn of Doom, and be sure to follow us on Instagram, SRUDXLR on Instagram, and I don't know what we're going to talk about next time, but see you guys next Wednesday at 3 o'clock, every Wednesday at 3 o'clock, and stay tuned for Off the Bench XLR in just a few minutes. Y'all have a great day. Y'all have a great day. Stay awesome. Peace.